Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the podcast show for the average Joe. This is the Wrestling Diaries. I'm your host, Mitchell Roulane. Check us out on YouTube for the video content. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content. We release weekly our audio streams, more importantly, so we can hear all these lovely voices and the things that they wrestle with and them articulating their lives through audio. Is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Overcast. I think that's another one. And there's probably another one that I'm leaving out. But check that out. Show us some love. Follow us. And, send us a gift basket or something like that. Today, I got a cool guest on. This young guy, UAB college student, Mr. Cason Tyree.
Thanks for having me.
Sorry, I was doing a weird introduction. What is up, brother?
Nothing much. Just trying to finish off this semester.
So I think you were one of the first official, I've had college age people on here, but I don't think I've actually had a legitimate college student on here. So you're the first, man.
Really?
Look at you.
Wow, look at me.
Yeah, you're breaking all kinds of records here. So tell us, what are you in school for, man? What's going on there?
I'm in school for mechanical engineering. Trying to become more of the car industry, automotive industry,
okay,
stuff like that. And just taking engineering classes, doing CAD modeling, computer design classes, stuff like that. I've done 2 years at Jeff State to get my core classes.
Yeah, prereqs
out.
Yep.
And now I'm kind of moving on to the actual engineering classes now.
Okay, so what how far along are you in UAB now?
I guess I'm finishing up technically my sophomore year. Kind of, I didn't go to any school last semester because of COVID,
right?
And I just worked, and so now it shifts. So I guess I'm technically a sophomore, even though I've done 2 years at Jeff.
So what is it about, I guess, engineering and mechanics that you're into? What is the origin of that? You just grew up working on cars with your dad or your people, or something like that?
I mean, yeah, kind of. I mean, I've always grown up with a interest in cars, and I would always watch sounds hillbilly NASCAR, and stuff like that when I was young because
who was your guy?
Our driver was Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart,
yeah,
okay.
We were pretty big Tony Stewart fans, and so just kind of always been interested in cars, and I'm still am today. And
do you like Indy racing, like Indy 500 stuff?
I don't really keep up with that. I would love to go. They just had the race at Barber, this past weekend. I would have loved check that out. I think I've been once before, but I would just it'd be cool to check it out. Really got into Formula One recently, especially keeping it up this season.
Yeah.
With a Netflix series I got going on.
Yeah,
really got me into it.
I saw that.
So yeah,
that's cool. Really cool, dude. I guess this is a funny story. So one of the first times I used to really like NASCAR too as a kid growing up, and I kind of got out of it or whatever. It's cool,
yeah.
And people that like it and go there, there's a lot of really smart, sophisticated people there. But if you've ever been to have you been to Talladega before? So the kind of some of the people that go there.
Yeah,
dude,
it's definitely an experience.
Yeah, the first time I went there, I was like, oh wow, okay, so there's a certain different kind of human that exists that goes to these races and stuff like that. And I was I saw this guy. I'll never forget this, man. It's still burned into my cerebellum. This gentleman was in a pair of jean overalls, and he had a mullet, sweet mullet. I mean, nice, just textbook.
Yep.
And his overalls, he wasn't wearing a t-shirt underneath, so he was wearing it like a tank top, kind of.
Yeah.
And then they were long pants, but he cut them off into Daisy Duke shorts, and then he had some almost knee-high boots on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it was just jean overalls, but cut off at the shorts.
Yeah. And he was he was I guess an averagely thick built guy, and I was just whoa,
this is wild. This is Alabama.
This is real deal.
Yeah. I mean, you can go there and you can see I remember going there and seeing license plates from Canada, Alaska. Just coming to Talladega, especially because it's just so
people come
such
from
an experience. And I've been to we used to when we were more into it. I've been to Darlington,
nice. Darlington's a real nice place, man.
To Sonoma in California. We had some relatives that lived over at the time. We went to a Sonoma race one time, and that was pretty cool.
Daytona is probably one of the most gorgeous places
Daytona's
I've
beautiful.
ever seen.
Really pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really exhilarating too, man. We got seats up close, and like when they're passing by, like almost clocking at 200, like you just feel that inertia, like you just feel it. It's like whew, gets you like pumped up. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But so what was growing up as being like a car person? Did you ever put together like model cars and stuff like that? My dad loves doing that.
We
putting model cars together.
I got a couple in the closet. You know, we had this I think a '69 Camaro that me and my dad did together, and that was pretty cool. I guess there's a lot of engineers that say, when I was a kid, I used to just, every toy I got a screwdriver and picked it all apart. I wasn't, like that per se, because it's like, well, if I take it apart, I can't play with it no more. You know what I'm saying? So
right? Yeah,
it's
sure.
like, why would I do that? But
you're a kid too.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm really good at math, and I like doing the computer modeling, and stuff like that. So I feel like I can do that successfully and enjoy it
as a kid growing up and as a teenager, you play a lot of like video games.
Yeah,
like,
I play a good
racing
amount
stuff,
of video games.
NASCAR,
Yeah.
Need for Speed.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Need for Speed was really good.
Yeah.
So what's your dream car, dude? Like what's your you
man,
close your eyes right now and if you could just snap and you got your dream car, what's it look like?
That is tough, guys. It almost changes like every week.
Okay, well then name off a list. Maybe your top three.
Okay, a solid one would be like a 2018 Camaro Z01.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the C7 Corvette, or like a Corvette from I think 2014 to 2019. Those are really attractive cars. Or just a Porsche GT3 RS. I know. I mean, that's a pretty high. I'm not going to get a Porsche. It's just.
Yeah, the first time I ever watched that movie John Wick with Keanu Reeves, you seen it?
Yes.
He's got that. What is it? Is it like a '69 Cobra Mustang or something like that?
Dude,
Those
I
things
was
are
like,
sharps too. Whoa! I want that car so bad. Like I was like, and I'm not much of a car guy. I don't know a lot of things about like cars and vehicles as much.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw that car and I was like, that is just a gorgeous car. It's an American muscle. It's gorgeous. I can imagine like the torque behind that thing, like just hitting it, like hitting the gas pedal, and like just the, I don't know. When I was a kid, though, my dream car was one of two vehicles. I either wanted a Batmobile, like I think the GTO from the old Adam West '60s one,
I knew you're talking about,
or the like convertible like sports coupe. Aston Martin that James Bond drove. Yeah. And I was like, and then as I grew older, when I was still working at the doctor's office, man, we made like kind of like a vision board for our like goals for what we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we're putting up our dream vehicles, and the doctor had like a Range Rover, and I don't remember what model or year it was, but I had like that Aston Martin that James Bond drove. Like that was my picture.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I mean, at some point, maybe I could still get one. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, it's always possible.
I'll just make all these millions of dollars off of this show, and I'll buy an Aston Martin.
And it's amazing how like movies will just, give a car just so much character, like a James Bond car, or, like the Batmobile.
Sure.
And how it always becomes memorable. And it might not be like a, super special car. I mean, Batmobile's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it shoots missiles and stuff like that. And so does the James Bond car. It shoots missiles as well.
Yeah.
As the underwater one, in that 90s with what James Bond was that? Do you remember?
I don't off the top of my head. But he had like one that went underwater, like submarine.
Yeah. I can't remember what that one. It's not Roger Moore.
I was telling everybody, I was like, but if I get one of those cars, like I want one, but I also like I want it with the machine guns and like and the bombs and
it might not be street legal, you might be lucky in Alabama.
The bulletproof cage that comes down when they're shooting at you. Like I want all that stuff, and like the little telecom like communicator device. Monty Pinto, yeah. But yeah, so cool, man. What I guess what do you think is going to end up being your profession off of what you're going to school? Like you're just going to be a legit engineer, or
that's my goal. I would try to be a engineer and like a for some automotive company. There's several around here in Alabama with the Mercedes in Tuscaloosa. You got the Hyundai, and there's also, I just found out today from a friend, there's a Toyota up in Huntsville. There's a Toyota plant that's hiring for like internships for Toyota. So just something like that. And I guess like I said this before, like my dream job that is not really possible. It's like just to go out around the world and like test drive cars, like new cars that come out, like if you read like car and driver magazines and stuff like that. I mean, that's all they do. They just test out the new car, go to tracks from around the world, and just try it out.
Yeah.
And I can't be a journalist, obviously. I can definitely tell from my English classes that I'll never be a journalist.
No.
But I mean, it just, that job is so few in the world. There's so many few people do that where they actually just test drive cars.
Yeah.
But I mean, you gotta find a settling. You gotta settle for something. So I would be happy to be an engineer. And help. The direction of cars toward the future is electric, all electric. So there's definitely some innovation that could be, be found going forward.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I drive that Prius hybrid out there, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it saves me because of the amount of travel. Well, not now. I'm not traveling as much as I was, although my traveling's probably about to pick up more. When I initially got it, I tallied out the amount of money that I was paying in gas prior and then after when I got the Prius. And dude, I was saving like $200 a month in gas.
That's pretty good.
I was like, I can't believe I was spending that much more prior. I was like, I can't believe this. So yeah, man. And so I was like, oh yeah, it was an investment buy. Of course, at the expense of all my guy friends calling me, oh, you got a Prius, you see? How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you with your little Prius, your little V4? You can't even hear the engine. That's one thing that's really trippy on that car, man. There's no sound, no engine sound whatsoever. I literally drove up behind joggers. I was driving through a neighborhood once, and there's this dude, he's just jogging, and he was in the middle of the road, and I was like, what an a-hole. What is he, I'm right behind him. What is he doing? And then and then I'm kind of like, and then he did a double take. He looked back and he looked back and he's like, oh, and he jumped. And then I was like, oh, and he jumped and he ran over to the side of the road, and I rolled down the window. I was like, hey, and he's like, oh man, he's like, I didn't know you were behind me. I'm so sorry. First of all, he's like, that scared the shit out of me.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm sorry, man. These dang hybrids.
We were I was having a discussion with my friends a week back about if you were to have between a Tesla and a Mustang, and which one would you rather have?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of one friend was arguing well, you're just a detriment to the environment if you want to get a Mustang. This is the future. You're just you're not going with the future. You're not going to electric. I'm like, well, I mean, it's just, there's something about it. If you're just if you like cars, there's something with the engine, and if you drive a stick, then you can, just feel the car, and it's honestly, if you have there's some Teslas out there that are pretty fast, like the Model S, I believe, is, 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. They got a new one coming out that's going to be under 2 seconds. I mean, that's just insane G's to feel that,
And then also because it doesn't drive like a normal car, right? Because the mechanics are way different. So I can imagine that probably feels so weird on takeoff.
It'd be like a rocket ship, but you're not even hearing anything. You're just
right.
That's the loudest you can hear.
That's wild, dude. I would love to have one. What do you think of those Tesla trucks? I think they're ugly.
I think it's pretty ugly.
They do not look pretty at all.
It's impressive,
but,
what they could do, but I mean, it's just that just looks like a bad computer rendering of something.
Yeah, because I like functionality or whatever, but I have a 1996. Excuse me. Ugh. Somebody's gonna be like, oh, you don't even know your own car. I have a 1995 Pontiac Trans Am, candy apple red. And I love that car so much. It's beautiful. They stopped making Firebirds and Trans Ams and all that. And I love that car, man. But it's a pretty car. It looks very aesthetically pleasing. You pulled up in a Camaro today, and I was like, oh wow. Or it's a Camaro, right? Yeah. And it's just there's something about the aesthetics of it. So while I get the Tesla thing, it's the future. I'm like, come on, Elon, make it look a little bit more sexier, bro. Come on.
There's
but it's the first model though, right?
Yeah,
so as they kind of get through fashioning, maybe the next model will be more pleasing to the eye. I heard they were coming back. They're revamping the Ford Bronco. Did you hear about that?
I've seen one on the car lots, and I think in Alabaster.
So they've already done it then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, yeah. I saw a picture of the ones, and they look good. They kept the old style, but kind of updated.
Yeah.
Kind of like when they're doing those anniversary Mustangs there for a while. They went with the old style from the 60s and 70s, but just up to date. It looks pretty good, man.
Yeah, I like how it looks too. I'm more of a, you have your Chevy and your Ford people, and I'm more leaning Chevy, but I'll appreciate a good, Ford Bronco, Mustang. I appreciate them.
Yeah, they're pretty good. What you were saying earlier though about like you like one of your dream job things that you would love to like travel around the world and test drive cars, and you said it's impossible. It's not impossible, bro.
Well, yeah, nothing's impossible, but
I wish I had like a magic wand, like a Disney fairy godmother, like you can have anything you want if you just put your mind to it. But
I mean, I consider myself like a realist. I'm not overly optimistic about most things.
Yeah. I feel like the perfect medium is to be a realist, to be realistic about stuff. But idealists, I was reading a stat on this. Like when you have like a realist and an idealists, the ones their heads are more in the cloud. They're less like analytical and pragmatic about things. They end up like following through with the things that they want in life over the realists.
Really?
Like the majority of the time. And they're more like head in the clouds, kind of doofy and like airheaded or whatever you want to call them, but they end up like essentially living their dreams over the realist person because they don't put like a stamper on like whatever they're trying to do. They just do it, and like a lot of them fail, but like because they're doing it, like more of them end up like breaking on through or whatever. And I feel like
just for trying at least.
I think it's me and Matt had this conversation once. And I think it's a perfect balance to try to be a little bit of both, right? To be a realist about things, but also have really high ideals and try to like pursue that, but be realistic about the things you're doing, but still like dream big, because if not, then you won't go anywhere. I don't think
that's true.
So yeah, man, I feel like it's 100%. Like if you want that, you just have to pursue it. You just have to work harder. You just got to figure it out. You just got to challenge yourself and figure out how to do that. And who knows? You wake up one day and you're like, oh my gosh. He was right. Look at what I'm doing. I'm in Italy right now, test driving some Ferraris or something. I don't know. But yeah, man, I think it's pretty good. So, what do you? Do you like? How do you feel about UAB and like where you're going?
I mean, it's a nice it's a good campus, nice school. I know it's good for like medical and stuff like that. I feel like like back in high school, everyone was over romanticizing like college, and it's like, but to watch too many movies about college and be like, whole new me, and it's definitely an opportunity for that. If you were to completely just like cut yourself off from what you were and live on your own and, try to, reimagine yourself or whatever. But, I was, for me personally, I was just went to Jeff State. Still living at home. I'm not really changing my world. I told many people Jeff State's great. It's cheap. It's pretty much like high school again. Not with the drama or anything, but just like the same classes. You're taking. It's just counting for a degree. So it's fine. I haven't really been able to really experience UAB yet this semester because of COVID. Kind of looking forward to next semester. Might try to get into like some extracurriculars. I was in band in high school, and of course they don't have a marching band for the community college. So I'd be interested in trying out for that. And I heard it's pretty fun to be in the band from friends, and getting some like sports or intramural sports.
Yeah, are you a Blazer? Go Blazers!
Yeah, I got my Blazer hat. I'll say Blaze on, with a little going on.
Blaze on.
Yeah, that's what they say.
You say that, and then some pothead's like, "Oh yeah, bro, Blaze on, bro."
Yeah, on the street, yeah.
Do you get to you go to the games for free, right?
No?
How's that work?
As far as I know, I think I do. Like I said, it's springtime. I actually haven't checked out any games yet because.
Yeah, you gonna go though this year?
I'm gonna try.
I'm talking about football specifically.
Well, yeah. If some of my friends go, if I make some new friends and then they want to go, I'm like, yeah, let's go see the football game.
You made a lot of friends since you've been at UAB.
Like I said, it's kind of.
You seem kind of like a guy that's like kind of to yourself. Like
it's not like a. I don't want to make friends, but I just.
I got you.
Pretty selective, I guess.
Right. You're very selective. You don't like go out of your way to just be like, oh,
yeah, I'm not a.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm not
like you're whoring out your friendship. I got you. Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Like, what is it? Tupac Shakur said the realest people don't have a lot of friends. Wow. So, I get it. I have more, some people, I'm going to say this and they're going to be like, wait, do I fall in that category? But I have a lot more colleagues and acquaintances than I do actual friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody listening to this right now, they're like, wait, am I?
When's the last time I saw him in like
Is he trying to say I'm an acquaintance? I thought he said I was his friend. That piece of crap. I still love all you guys, whoever you are, acquaintances and friends alike.
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes it really depends on how long you know somebody. Before you become a friend, it might be a
that's very true.
Friends.
Yeah, I'm very particular about people too. I feel like I base like what I see like off of body language, and somebody's like speaking and talking, and I'm like, oh yeah, they. I could I guess talk to them and kind of, I don't know, initiate some kind of rapport or whatever. And then there's other people I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Which is unfortunately a lot of people, maybe the majority.
And sometimes it's like, it's like in a workplace or something. You're like, okay, I'm just gonna kind of sit back and listen, just kind of
observe, observe like what's going on. I love to people watch, man. Big people watcher. I like to see what they do. It's like watching National Geographic sometimes.
Like, wow, okay.
Yeah, okay. So that's that kind of human right there. Okay. That is a different
You decided to go for that today. Okay.
Yeah, man. It's funny stuff. Do you like college more than high school more than college? Is both neutral, or you don't care either way?
I mean, I guess there's pros and cons for each.
What are they?
I would say, of course, you have your high school friends, and you were just, I don't know, senior year of high school is a lot more fun than freshman year of college. And like I said, it's different for everybody. Like I said earlier, if you have the, whole new experience of, living on your own or whatever. But, I mean, but for me personally, college is just kind of, it's okay.
You're just doing it like there for what you need it for, and it's not
I'm there to get a piece of paper and then I'm out of there. I'm not really into that.
I mean, it's just a very straightforward approach to living your life. So
yeah, I mean, I was never the most spirited in the yearbook or whatever for my high school.
Where'd you go to high school at?
I went to Pelham High School.
Pelham High School. Shout out. What's their mascot?
Shout out to the Panthers.
The Panthers.
Shout out to my guys at Pelham High School.
Pelham High School. You bunch of losers. I'm kidding.
I mean, we were in football when I was there. So.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy, man. So do you keep up with a lot of your high school friends outside of like?
We try to, there's a lot, people go out of state, go to like Auburn, Georgia Tech, Tennessee.
Wow. Okay.
But we luckily by our social media, we try to keep in contact for the most part. Try to get together whenever there's breaks or summers or whatever. Sorry, voice cracking. But,
it's all right, man. Don't be nervous. That's cool. Matt, get him some whiskey, some cocaine or something. We got some cocaine back there. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, we're pretty close. For my friend group, at least, there's about 8 or 10 guys that we were like in a cult. We called ourselves a cult, and we have our own T-shirts and stuff like that. We were all in this. We were kind of in the AP classes, smart classes or whatever, and we were on this AP Cal class, and I mean it was just like everybody was in it, and then. We had this end of year field day. We were supposed to have like this team, and we like decided at the beginning of the year, like, okay, this is our group, and we were just like, super tight knit, and had our own T-shirts, and that one of our guys created who makes movies, not makes movies, but shoots videos, shoots weddings and stuff like that. But it's just, I mean, it's just kind of like I say, brotherhood.
Yeah. That's cool. It's Matt, aren't you into cults? You like cults, right? You're a big Charles Manson fan, aren't you, Matt?
Maybe my brother.
But, that's right. Yeah, your brother Robert. He's one. Shout out Robert, you cultist.
No. Might be in a burger cult. I worship the almighty burger.
The burger, yeah. Matt, for anybody, nobody can see it, but Matt's wearing a hamburger T-shirt right now. It's great.
But yeah, like disclaimer that it was nothing like emo or nothing satanic about it. It was just fun.
Oh, well, it's not. I'm not interested anymore though. If it's not that stuff, I'm not interested. I'm kidding. Well, that's cool though, dude. You seem like you've, I don't know, you've got really cool ambitions, but you're really cool and just like, I can tell the whole realist personality from you though. Like you take life just very structurally.
Yeah,
I would. Like you were super. Like you were 15 minutes early coming here today, and I was like,
I'm not always like that.
I feel like Yeah, well, but I don't know. I see that like in your personality. You just got a really good structure, which is good, you know?
Yeah,
It's like,
I mean,
it's good to have routine. And
I'm not like a perfectionist or like a OCD type person, really. I
That's
just
good.
very, as long as I have a plan and I know what the plan is, then I'm like, okay, I'm good. But I'm not much of a life in the wind, you know, like whatever happens, happens, you know. I'm very like you're saying earlier about the realistic versus idealistic. I'm not sure if I can ever see myself to be idealistic. I mean, that's why I'm becoming engineers. I'm just so analytical about just everything, you know.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If that takes you in your life to where you want to go and it makes you happy, then, I mean, you don't need to be, you don't need to have like high ideals and like just, I don't know, just a big dreamer, head in the clouds or whatever.
Yeah.
Because if whatever you're doing is taking you to where you want to go, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
So it's only where like it stifles you, because I know a lot of people that I'm a like born realist, whatever that means. And I've always like lived my life like that. And for a long time, I realized that like for me personally, like it was holding me back. I was just too like one of those people that analyzes like each step so hardcore forever. I'm just saying like, okay, so like if I'm going to step here, is it going to support my weight? And what's the displacement from here to there? Blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, while I'm sitting here with a magnifying glass, these other people, they're just running up the stairs. Right. And I'm still down here and they're like, hey, what are you doing, dummy? Like, you're still down there. And so like I had to kind of like change my personal mentality and kind of like, I don't know, just like get out there more and just kind of throw caution in the wind a little bit. You know, it's like you take risks in life, but calculated risks are the best ones to take. Right. So, I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. But my point is if you don't have to do that, take risks, and what you're doing is getting you to where you want to go. That's the most important part. Because the most important part is for you to just be happy. You just got to be happy with what you're doing.
Just
and as long as you're
contentness,
you
know?
If you're content and you're happy, that's all that matters, man. All the other stuff is just fluff. You know, water under the bridge, over the dam, all that stuff. Doesn't matter. Boom. Just throw it out. But so your dad is here, and
yes,
we're waving at him right now. Hey, Dad. Putting him on the spot. But like, you guys were talking about how y'all have a very interesting relationship. It's kind of like a brotherly relationship. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, you know, I have a twin sister. She's super sweet.
Really? Like identical twin?
Or not my sister, no. I mean, fraternal. Okay. Kind of be impossible to be identical for male and female. But you know,
I'm never busting your chops, dude. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Some people are like, they're for real. They're like, wait, are you identical? And they're like being for real. I'm like, yeah, we're identical.
Well, I mean, they probably just they don't understand the
I mean,
whatever.
Maybe whatever. Anyway, so you know, I've never had a brother before, and you know, my dad has always just been like a big brother to me, and just kind of like, hey, you know, here's some advice. You know, I mean, it's just kind of like it's like he always says like this, taking my dad cap off for a second, and you know, as like a bro, you know, like, hey, you know, you want to do this, you know, kind of like that. And we always, you know, just go out and, you know, have a good time. You know, we always me and him always not always, but we regularly play like disc golf.
Okay,
you know,
cool.
And I know for like some people it's synonymous for like this hippie sport or whatever, but it's
Before you continue on though, explain to people out there listening who don't know what disc golf is, what it is.
Disc golf is just like regular golf, but instead of balls, you use disc, and you have your different types of discs that are like a driver, a mid-range, and a putter. You throw your disc off this concrete. That's not always concrete, but this little square pad, and you're trying to go throw it into a metal chain basket that's set up like, you know, it's like a golf course. It's smaller. You know, golf courses are usually measured in yards, and disc golf is in feet.
Okay.
But you know, you have your different discs that's supposed to, you know, go left, go right. You have your different throwing styles and stuff like that. So, you know, it's you know, it's like kind of like walking through a park, but you have something to do while you're doing it. You know?
Okay, cool.
So it's you know, it's pretty fun. It's a little bit of competitiveness, you know, just enough. You know,
is there teams and like stuff like that for that? Like is there a league or something?
I guess you have your team like brands. You have different brands of disc. You have your like team Innova or team Discraft or whatever. But there is like professionals. So you have it's called a PDGBA, you know, tour or whatever. And you know, people, they do have tournaments you can go do, and I mean, they got disc. You know, it's one really good thing about it is that how cheap it is. I mean, you can go find a disc for like $10, $15. You can get like starter pack for like $30. Get 3 discs, and then it's not even 5% of the courses are free. You can just show up and play.
Yeah.
Which is versus golf, you have to pay $100 for clubs. You got to pay for a cart. You got to pay for show up for the course. Just for golf at least. But
sure, yeah.
It's definitely a cheaper
that's
option.
Very interesting. I know about disc golf, but I didn't know the amount of information that you just divulged there. That's very interesting.
Yeah,
it's really cool that you guys like do that. Like, so I got to ask this. So like you have this kind of like brotherly, friend relationship with your dad, which is real cool, and it's a unique relationship. What about with your mom? Is that just is that a typical son-mom relationship?
Yeah, honestly, it's more like a mom relationship.
Okay.
I mean,
is she jealous? She's like, oh, I wish Cason was my friend too.
I mean, we're
just kidding, Mom.
We're friends. Trust me. But she's I would definitely. They're both great parents. A great mom and great brother and dad. So, I mean, yeah,
that's cool, dude. I feel like you're very fortunate, right? Because
I'm extremely fortunate.
You're, in the simple sense of like just having like both your parents in your life. Like just in that sense, like you're very fortunate, right? Like there's so many people that just don't have one or the other or both, especially in the world we live in today. It's craziness, but it's cool that you have that. And then you also have really cool, unique relationships with, your members of your parentage.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool, man. All right. So we're getting to this point of the show where we try to get a little bit deeper, right? We're getting into the psyche of the person. You getting nervous?
Really nervous.
No, don't be nervous. It's okay. Matt, where is that cocaine at? Dang it. Actually, that wouldn't like calm you down, right? It'd make you more like,
yeah, make you more wired.
Maybe more wired. Yeah, don't get the cocaine, Matt. And if your friends and stuff or family that are watching this, like, what? Who is this guy that is like
keep on
interviewing
cocaine, man?
He's crazy. Is he serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm serious. So what? Sue me. No, I'm not. But brother, my friend, what are some of the things in your life that you personally, as a young man, as a college student, what do you wrestle with? What are the things that you struggle with, man? The monsters under your bed and demons in your closet.
I guess just like motivation. I guess just
motivation.
Just to. It's always. I don't know how to put this, but like. I feel like I have surges of motivation that might last for like a week. Almost kind of like, how people for New Year's resolutions, they might have a motivation to do whatever they want to do.
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym, whatever. And I feel like I struggled to like maintain that, as going from like my college career or high school career, and I've made, costly mistakes, back in high school and college. For not having the motivation to do stuff, even though I know I had full capabilities of achieving what I want to achieve, but it's just, my own mindset that kind of prohibits me from doing that.
What do you think the lack of motivation stems from? Where do you think that comes from?
I'm very, like I said, I'm very analytical, and I'm trying to like, I say I don't actually fix physical things, but I'm always trying to find a solution for stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. I can't never figure out what it is that, I can give you like a lofty, like, I want to eventually be happy and content with life, but I can't, it's not like I can have that in my mindset, the forefront of my mindset, like constantly, and I can't find that drive that's, continuous drive for very long periods of time. I was super proud of myself, like recently, this, like beginning this year, going back into school. I haven't been to school for, almost a year. I've taken a break last semester, and I was actually pretty proud of myself for how on top of it I was. And then I would say it eventually fizzled out. Recently, I'll be okay. I've done enough work, so far already this semester. I should be fine. But it's nothing like it was before, and I know that. And it's like there's nothing, in life that made me change. It just went away, and I just wish I could, take a pill or something that just makes me, stay driven, and I'm always afraid that like going forward that it would just like, I don't know, kind of derail my life and might not be able to find that my goal, I know it's kind of hard to explain.
No, I get it. What do you think is a good driving force for you though? That like kind of helps get you back on the saddle.
I mean, that's just like
think
about long term. I have to have like a self talk for myself for a couple of days. Like, okay, man, you got to think about the long term here.
Mm-hmm.
You can't think, about how it sucks right now. You got to just, keep your head down and keep on trucking.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find it's even hard to get myself to do that, So.
That's very interesting.
And it's strange because I have all the resources in the world to have success. I don't have too many hardships in life. There's no reason for me to fail, but I still get in my own way.
Yeah, I mean, you saying you're preaching to the choir, getting in your own way. Like the biggest person that you wrestle with in life, the biggest person I wrestle with in life is Mitchell, right?
Yeah,
that's who like holds me back, and it's this crazy. It's like hell in my head sometimes, and like sometimes it's. I mean, that almost kind of ties back and piggybacking, coming full circle about the whole like concept of idealism, right? Because like sometimes if you just let go, sometimes it's just what you have to do. You just got to like kind of let go of the things that you're like, and I mean, you can sit there and like analyze something all day long and all that, but like where is it going to take you, right? And if it's holding you back and it's like destroying your motivation, then maybe you got to. It's like like a dog, right? Like they're like trapped in a pen and they're trying to dig themselves out, and they're digging in a patch, and they're just, no matter what they're doing, it's not taking it anymore. They're not going to keep digging in that same spot. They're going to like move to a different angle, a different area, and dig until they find the soft dirt, until they dig themselves out. And sometimes, I mean, that's kind of how you have to navigate life, right?
Yeah.
You have to keep.
You got to try something different.
Yeah, you have to keep trying all these doors until one of them opens. And that's the beauty of life, right? Because there's who knows, possibly an infinite amount of doors, right? And you might come across hundreds, thousands that are locked, but there's some of them that are open. You just have to keep trying to open them, right? And that's the beauty of it. Like you just have this plethora of opportunity to try to get out.
Yeah.
To get out of your own way, to get out of your head, to get out of, stagnation, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think you're doing a pretty good job so far, man. You're very interestingly odd character, but in a good way. Like I feel like you internalize things a lot, which can be good and can be bad.
Yeah, it's like an echo chamber inside,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask this question: What do you want to see yourself in 10 years from now? What does that look like?
Let's see. I'll be 30. That's crazy.
Is that crazy?
That's crazy, man. I'll be 30. Wow.
It's I tell you, like when you get there, it's just like when I was like 15, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be 20 in 5 years. I'm freaking out. Like I'm gonna be like a quarter way to like half age, which is halfway to life, to halfway to death, and just all this silliness.
Yeah.
And then when I got to 20, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm just 20 now.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt too.
But yeah, where do you see yourself, or where do you want to see yourself? What does that look like? What does Case in 10 years from now look like?
I guess just a stable job of something that I don't exactly hate doing. And
oh yeah, you definitely shouldn't do stuff you hate.
I mean, that's, pretty good idea. And then just have a happy family, have a dog, white picket fence.
White picket fence.
Yeah.
Beautiful wife, you come home from work. She's like, oh, hi, honey. The roast is on the table.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I wouldn't mind, going outside the country, like I talked about earlier, with, traveling and stuff.
Have you
like
traveled
that.
outside the country?
I have not.
Okay.
Like I said,
you should definitely experience that, man.
Furthest I've been is California. So.
California dreaming.
Yeah.
You should go out there now, man.
It's super cheap to go out there. It's the cost of everything.
All you
over
have
there.
to do is bring a tent. You're good.
You just pitch a tent.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about no hotels, none of that. Just get a tent.
Just be running from the law. Make sure you're from loitering.
Oh man, yeah, you definitely should travel outside of the country. It's there's a big world out there, man, and those experiences, they really help to kind of shape you and, I don't know, like kind of give you a different mentality, a different spin on life when you see different people and different cultures, and you feel a different atmosphere. Something about that is it emerges you and kind of, I don't know, building your personality and building something good for yourself. So it's just a good experience,
Yeah.
So yeah, I recommend you're totally doing that, bro.
Where you've been outside the country?
So I've been to Canada, and I've been to France.
Okay,
and that's it.
Did you went to Paris, France, or just like the
I went to Paris on this it was supposed to be like a office trip or whatever, but we were just going out there for pleasure. And it was like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna meet with this health professional that's out there, and I wasn't out there for very long. Like it was like a couple days, and then
still you get to see it.
But yeah, it was pretty special. Canada is not really. It's basically like if you live in the United States, you've basically seen Canada. It's just colder and there's more trees.
Yes,
and then there's people that some of them have French accents. That's really about it.
Yeah,
that's about
watch,
it.
Watch,
not downplaying Canada. Canada's cool, pun intended. But yeah, it's not.
Watch Letterkenny. That'd be a pretty good representation of what Canada is. Watch that movie.
But yeah, I still want to do more. I still got to get out into more places. Like I want to go to Asia and parts of. I had a chance to go to Africa. I used to work with a nonprofit organization locally, and they have a lot of connections with I think it's called Kawatu, and it's like a children's home out in, I think it's Zambia. If any of my Grace Clan people are listening to this, I apologize if I'm butchering that. But yeah, and there was like trips that were coming up, and it just never panned out for me. But at some point, I'd like to do that. Maybe see South America. I'd love to travel just everywhere, but it's a very interesting experience. So yeah,
pretty cool.
Get on it, man.
Yeah,
well, dude, I think you got good direction in life, man. Just just work on your motivation thing. I think as time goes on, as you kind of mature more as a person, like you'll kind of find like your place that you have the most motivation to go forward, and maybe you won't struggle with as much, or maybe you will. But sometimes, like I realize too, like the things that you struggle with are what like keep you real and keep you honest and keep you like fighting for something, right? Because there's something, not to be overly philosophical about it, force philosophy on you, but like there's something really beautiful about struggling with things, because it makes you appreciate the things that you don't struggle with.
That's true.
So like a perfect example of this, I used to wait tables at a seafood restaurant some years ago, and this guy was sitting there and he was just complaining. He was like, man, these, like table 3, they're being a bunch of assholes, and like this other lady, I've refilled her tea like 10 times and she still wants more, she's still complaining, and blah blah blah, and he's just going off and off and off. And then finally I was like, dude, I get it, man. It's one of those days. I was like, it could be so much worse. And he goes, yeah, how? And I go, well, I mean, you could be in some communist third world country being tortured to death right now for your political standpoint or your beliefs. You could be getting tied up and getting your fingers cut off and all this stuff. Be doing that, or you could be like in Afghanistan in a foxhole getting shot at and stuff like that. I was like, think about that. That's how it could be worse. And then he goes, like I could see like I completely like kind of
revelation.
Yeah, he was like, well, yeah, I guess, yeah, man, I guess you're right, whatever. And yeah, people just don't think about that stuff, man. There's always someone out there like way worse problems than you, and sometimes that's where you have to go. And then when you do that, it makes you humble, and gratitude tastes like apple pie, right? Thank you so much for being on the show, brother.
Problem.
I really appreciate you.
I enjoy being here.
Yeah, I'm so glad you could come on here. I appreciate it. You're the first college guy. I usually get my guests to like plug in if they have social media, or if they're doing a business, or if you just want to plug in UAB, or if you want to plug in anything or nothing at all. You just looking at that camera and plug in whatever you'd like to, man.
Just, I guess, follow me on Instagram, Cason Tyree. That's pretty much it,
Follow this guys, ladies. Just throw your numbers at him.
No,
He's a rock star.
Yes.
Yeah, go his way. Like, I'm telling you, this guy's great. I love this guy. I love him. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in on this episode, this diary entry of Mr. Cason Tyree. Just talking about a lot of cool stuff, cars and being a student and fighting with his motivation. Hopefully you found something that you can use from this episode. Cason's a really great guy, and I think he's got a great head on his shoulders. What are the things that you personally listening, like where's your motivation lie? Do you have motivation? Do you lack it? Do you need more of it? And then also, what are you motivated for, right? There has to be something that you're chasing, because if you're not, then what are you running for? You're wasting time. And so think about that, right? It's real important. I think people in life should think more about these things. Because I mean, if not, you're sitting there like still water. You're gonna get stagnant, algae, gnats everywhere. It's gross. Ugh. Don't be like that. Check us out on YouTube. Like, share, comment, subscribe. See all these pretty faces on this video. Also, the audio streams, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. Listen to what's going on. Hear what people in regular life, what do they wrestle with, and how they can overcome their own adversities. What do you wrestle with, and how can you beat it? One love.